Before we get to the end of the show, let's get to the start of the show with our review of The King of Comedy. Like I said, this is a 1982 American satirical black comedy drama film directed by Martin Scorsese, the award-winning American writer-director known for countless classic films such as, I'm going to list them all, here we go, Goodfellas, Casino, Taxi Driver, Gangs of New York, The Aviator, The Departed, Shutter Island, The Wolf of Wall Street, and The Irishman, many more. The King of Comedy stars Robert De Niro in his fifth collaboration with Scorsese, Jerry Lewis and Sandra Bernard. Written by Paul D. Zimmerman, the film focuses on themes such as celebrity worship and American media culture. The film received mostly positive reviews from critics, but it was a flop at the box office, grossing only $2.5 million against its $19 million budget. This would be Lewis's final film for Fox as well. Today, it has an IMDb rating of 7.8 and a Metascore of 73. Gentlemen, Rotten Tomatoes, take a guess.
69. 69.
71.
7-1. 89. 8-9. Certified fresh.
I love how you carried the bingo theme for me there, Shane. That's good.
Almost 88. Two fat ladies. Not sure if I'm allowed to say that anymore, but oh well.
That's body shaming, Shane.
Anyway, thank you again to Lord Nymon in the chat for recommending this one. As a bit of fun little trivia, Lord Nymon, way back in the Awesome Diction days when we did a similar thing when we were fundraising for Feel the Magic, and I asked my colleagues at work to donate $10 and pick any movie, he donated very kindly and picked Goodfellas, which was my first viewing of the film. Adored it, of course, and then later he's the same fellow who convinced me to watch Cinema Paradiso, and then I pass that on to you, gentlemen. Yes, Lord Nome, I'm not sure if you know, but we did review Cinema Paradiso a few months back because the guys caught up and watched it, and we all loved it. We're blubbering messes just thinking about it. Yes, so 2 for 2.
Really hard to dislike that as a cinephile. Like someone who loves cinema.
Exactly.
It's really hard to not like that movie.
Yeah. So Lord Nymon, 2 for 2. Will he be 3 for 3? Before he finds out my thoughts on the film, I'd like to go to Mr. Movies first. Sir, what did you think of The King of Comedy?
I just learned with your intro to the film that Scorsese did Shutter Island. I didn't know that he directed that.
There you go.
Why?
Because it's not it doesn't feel like a Scorsese film at all.
No, it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It's completely different to the rest of his body of work, but like it's such a good movie. Love that film. This one was a weird one. This one was like, am I watching Joker? Like, did they remake Joker from this film? Like, I thought about it twice, at the very start and then at the very end. And it was uncanny. Just like, well, first of all, De Niro's in Joker as well. He plays
Murray.
Yeah, Murray, the
Talk show host.
The talk show host. That's it. The late night guy. What are those shows called? They're not just called talk shows.
Late night TV.
Yeah.
Late night.
Well, they are talk shows, but they're specifically late night talk shows. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like baffled at what I was seeing here. I was like, oh, I didn't know this. I didn't know that like Joker was kind of like an homage, if you will, to this film, because it really is.
Yeah.
The other thing I loved was the comedy in it, despite what it is. Like, okay, so what it is, it's a weird portrayal of like obsessive fandom. Like this, like to be a fan means to be a fanatic, and that means to be a little crazy, and this is like a lot crazy.
Yeah.
It's similar to Joker. It's kind of like we're going on a journey with someone who's quite lost their minds, or something similar, and it's pretty sad. Like, it's on a macro level, it's a sad tale. And then on the micro level, scene by scene, there's hilarity in a lot of these scenes. Just in the performance by De Niro, I found a lot of fun things. Like, he's trying to like come on to his friend from school now works at the bar. They've known each other for years. He's taking her out on a date, and he says something to her like, Marilyn Monroe, she died very young and she was so beautiful, just like you. It would be a shame if it happened to you. Like, it was like, that's a horrible thing to say to somebody, and he makes it so funny. The way that he delivered it was just one of my favorite lines in this one. What else did I think? I thought it like this. Okay, so this was a movie that shows its era, like it's very 80s. Yeah, and like lots of films just can't help it because this is a movie about, you know, the height of television entertainment. You know, the height of stardom in the 80s or in the late 70s, where you've got like a TV show celebrity and he's like the biggest thing on the planet or whatever. It's so 80s. And I don't understand it. Like, I don't understand how Jerry Lewis or Jerry Langford in this case, how Jerry could enjoy that life that he has, where you can't go anywhere without being stalked or mobbed. People.
That lady on the payphone is the one that ground my gears the most.
Right.
She's like, she stops him walking, just like, oh, you know, it's great. It's just, I love to see. Hey, like, I've got my nephew on the phone. Like, he's a big fan. Do you mind if you could say hello? And he's like, I'm sorry. I'm really, like, I've got somewhere to be. I'm sorry. She's like, well, I hope you get cancer. Like, something along the lines of, I hope all that you get is cancer.
So I've got, Lord Nyman, my friend, he was asked, like, you know, when are we going to watch? And then I said, you know, we're going to be reviewing it this week. He's like, okay, let me know once you've watched it, because I've got a bunch of trivia I'd like to share with him. Like, okay, cool. He shared a bunch, which I'll share in a moment. But then that prompted me. I was like, oh, you know what? I should go into IMDb trivia and just see other interesting things about this film. And specifically on this scene, the note here is when Jerry Langford is walking down the street, he's stopped by a woman talking on the telephone. When Jerry refuses to talk to someone on the phone, the lady says, I hope you get cancer. This incident actually happened to Jerry Lewis. According to Scorsese, Lewis directed this segment himself.
That's so good.
Yeah. Amazing.
So he's giving direction to the lady, like, say it like this, like you really want me to. He's like, say, no, this is how she said it. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Like,
let me just recall that memory, my horrible memory in my mind where some random lady told me I hope I get cancer. Yeah.
Oh man, I have met like my hero. Like when I was a teenager, I met the members of Linkin Park, who are like my favorite band. Like I just hit the 13 where you go, oh, music is the thing for me, not just my parents. And then Linkin Park hit, so naturally they were my favorite band. And then they came and toured when I was like 16 or something. They did a show in Sydney, and I got a meet and greet pass to meet them, and I was stoked. And I took my collector's edition album, and they all signed it. And I puckered up the courage to talk to Mike Shinoda at the end of the table, the last person that signed my his autograph for me in my book. And I said thank you for your music. And he sincerely looked in my eyes and said, you're welcome. I shook my hand and said, you're welcome. And I was like, that was amazing. That was worth missing Audioslave opening, even though now I'm thinking, man, I wish I'd seen the Audioslave performance, which I missed because I had to go to the meet and greet. Anyway, I'm saying all that because now I think, who was that guy? Like, I would never want to do that now. Like, it sounds like, who wants to meet someone that very much doesn't want to meet you? Like, you have no, like, there's nothing in it for these guys to meet like, unless they're kind of crazy themselves and they can you imagine a celebrity that wants to hear how great they are and how much they love?
Dude, there's plenty of them. There's plenty of them.
I will jump in and say, like,
crazy situation.
This is, I suppose, not comparable to anyone in Hollywood, but I would, you know, in my time at Ubisoft when I was traveling to different esports events and whatnot, the Australian team represented, you know, they were represented Fnatic, big esports organization. They had many fans, and they would stay back after events for 45 minutes. This is not something they're required to do, just taking photos, meeting fans. And I would ask them, I was like, you guys are incredible. Like, you don't have to do this. And they just say that it is the least we can do for, you know, for anyone that tunes in, supports us, buys our skin in the game. Like, Yeah,
It's
like,
such a-
follow
it's
us on
the-
Twitter. I love those boys. Like, they're all so very, very humble, and yeah, they're incredible individuals. But yeah, like I just want to voice that portion. I think there would be, like, I could imagine that being the case for Keanu Reeves. Like, I believe Keanu Reeves would stand around for 3 hours, shaking hands and taking photos, for the joy of just, similar thing. This is the least he could do for his fans, sort of thing.
Right, I see. Yeah, I see it. But it's not like he's gonna. Okay, it's not like he's gonna go. You know what I want to do tonight is I want to meet my fans. It's going to be so fun. He's doing it because he's really nice, and these people really want it from him. And he's like, I'll do that for you. I'm not doing it for me. Like, I don't get any kicks out of it, so to speak. But you love me for some reason, and so I'll post for a picture and I'll say nice things, and maybe we'll have a connection, and maybe it won't be a complete, like, it won't be horrible. Like, it's not like he's going to go like, thank God those fans are gone or whatever. Like, these people really like you. They're probably like-minded to you if, you're yourself and they love you for that and all that kind of stuff. But it's the leap from the other direction. I love Keanu Reeves' work. I don't think I'm his friend. I don't think I should be. It's that leap that is the crazy fandom leap. Like,
right.
You shouldn't be a fan of things. You should be appreciative of someone's work. You should be, like, the word fan is
like, an abbreviation of fanatic.
It's way watered down now. Like, because I could say, like, you could be a fan of what they do or whatever, but I'm not saying, like, you should froth at the mouth and run down the street and chase them or whatever. I'm just saying, you appreciate what they do. You know that they're going to do things like that again, so you like that person and you're going to watch movies because they're in them, and you're going to follow their career and all that kind of stuff because they deliver the art that you love or whatever it is that they've done that you enjoy, and you thank them for that or whatever. But you, like, man, it's like to go the extra step just seems crazy to me, and it seems crazy to me that I did that when I was younger, and that it's. I wonder, even, like, I know I wasn't as bad as these guys in this film that were, like, screaming and, like, they all want something. Like, they just want what they want. Like, they don't want to have a relationship. They just want to have, they're vacuum cleaners for autographs and praise and everything that they can get from these stars. And I don't think I was that bad, but I wonder if I had, like, that delusion of implied friendship because, for years I've been listening to Mike Shinoda say things to me that I agree with or sing to me in his song. I'm like, oh, it feels like it's crafted for me or whatever. But I don't know. Honestly, I'm not that person anymore. I love to get that person on the couch or interrogate them or whatever and understand what makes them tick. But now I'd rather have seen
Audioslave
play.
It's funny how that sort of stuff changes. But I will say that what you've just said reminds me of a video that I just watched, like, yesterday on Reddit. Some guy from the States trekked all the way to the UK to have a chat with one of the Beatles. I don't remember which one of the Beatles it is, but one of the main ones.
Yeah.
And he's like, surely you must have known about me with these lyrics that you've... And he's very politely, like, explaining why that's not the case. He's like, no, like,
I'm terrified to hear the rest of this story. Like, it
has a wonderful
my empathy
ending.
for this guy has me terrified.
I think it was Paul McCartney, or is it? No, it's the one that was. Is Paul McCartney still alive?
Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr are still alive.
The one that is not still alive.
George Harrison or John Lennon?
John Lennon. So John Lennon is having the conversation with this guy and just letting it out. Like, he's just explaining that this is the process. If you felt something with it, great, but you need to understand that I didn't write this for you. I've never met you, but until today. But he's like, are you hungry? Are you like, do you want to come in? Let's get him something to eat. And, like, the end of the video is him sitting at the table dipping toast into his tea and eating it, which is the most British thing I've ever seen an American do. But yeah, it's called a parasocial relationship. If you don't mind me segueing into my own thoughts.
Yeah.
Before you do, Terry, can I also just say that you mentioned it was one of the main Beatles, as if, like, there are, like, Beatles who aren't the main Beatles. You know what I mean? Like, there are non-main Beatles. It's like there's the primary Beatles, and then there's the secondary Beatles.
Ringo was not one of the main Beatles. Ringo was kind of like the buddy who was there.
Yeah. There are the main Beatles and Ringo.
Yeah. I always forget the name of everyone, including Lennon, and he's one of the main ones. Anyway, thank you for pointing that out. I don't mean to offend any Beatles fans. This film, I like the synopsis, but it's definitely a parasocial relationship. This idea that you have a close personal relationship with someone because you see them on TV, you're entertained by them, you feel like there's a connection, and it's super common nowadays. People form these parasocial relationships with Twitch streamers, with YouTubers, with like all sorts of people that have, because you see in their living room, or you see what is meant to be their living room. Like you guys are seeing the wall of my home office. This is an actual part of my actual house. And if we were super popular, you know, that someone would be like, I've seen inside your house, like we're practically friends, you've had me over. And that's the stuff that goes wrong in people's brains. And when it goes really wrong, you have what happens in this movie by two separate characters. The Masha character, which is the lady in the car that's like just waiting in ambush for Jerry to get into the car at the start of the film, which is bananas.
How does that happen?
He's convinced that they're in a relationship.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And they've never met. Like it's so insane.
They've met in the same way that the person that you see out in the street that lives in the town that you live in have met. Like,
yeah, right.
You walk into a shop, you see that face, and then 3 days later you see that same person somewhere else. That's the level of meeting these two people have had. Like, she's been at the door that he walks out of after he finishes clocking off from the show,
right?
And that's it. But she, because of whatever it is that she's got wrong, not a clinician. I don't know what kind of thing that you.
She's
you
also a character. She's you know, fictional.
Yeah, fictional. But the whatever it is that she's supposed to have wrong was real wrong. And De Niro was the same. I liked about this film, just to pivot away from some like the themes to stuff that I liked about the film. I liked that you got to see elements of reality and his imagination, and they very gradually became only his imagination, because that clean cut view of himself that he presents in some of these interactions, like you mentioned, the high school, not even squeeze, a girl that he had a thing for in high school, one of the cheerleaders that he never had the courage to have a conversation with in high school. He goes to the bar that she works at, and that scene splits between the conversation that he's having in real life, which is taking place in the bar where she's working, but what you're seeing on screen is that conversation unfolding over a date, like at a dinner table in a restaurant, and they're both really well dressed. And I love that Scorsese plays with that theme. There's a Ryan Reynolds movie where he basically is a guy who's off his meds, and like the whole world is just this beautiful thing for him. But when he's on his meds, he realizes the reality, and he's like a hoarder and a serial killer. And yeah, it's I can't remember the name of the film, but this makes me think of that. Relatively recent, in like the last 10 years. Yeah, I'll have to look it up at some point after. I'll share it, because it's
look it up when I'm talking.
It's got Anna Kendrick in it. Really good film. Disturbing, but very, very good. Anyway, I love that Scorsese does that. You end up not knowing exactly where reality is in the film, or at least what might actually be happening, or what's unfolding in his head.
Yeah, it's not as bad as some films. Like, some of it is glaringly obvious. Like, it's not even up for debate, where he's in Fantasyland and he snaps back and his mother's yelling at him or whatever.
Yeah.
The mother thing, that's another one where, like, according to the monologue that he ends up doing, like, was that a real thing or not? That's weird.
Yeah, is she actually dead? Was that like what? Yeah. And that's the question. Like, was his mother actually interjecting into his life, or was that another figment of his imagination that we're being privy to?
There's one more thing about all that we're gleaning on, that I don't know what was intended, and that is because it was the 80s. I don't know if the comedy he ends up delivering was supposed to be good, or if it was just all right or not great, or if it was all in his head and good, because it wasn't good by today's standards. Like it might, I think it might actually have been a pretty good set that you see him do. He's getting laughs, but again, that might no, because he's got other people in the bar that are watching the show. There are laughs, but those are primed laughs. These are people that want to be there. They're you know, like you got like crowds, ticklers or whatever, fluffers for the crowd, like saying laugh big and laugh often, please help us out, you know, that kind of thing. So you get a lot of laughs that you might not get otherwise. And I don't know whether the thing that we eventually see him do is supposed to have been great stuff, or like based on the rest of the movie, okay, but definite room for growth, like, because the whole film is about him trying to make it, you know, without really trying.
Yeah, without having to work for it.
He's not doing any material to anybody. He's not going to clubs or trying at all to pursue that career. He's just trying to deal it.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yes, literally.
And the other thing is that, like, what you said before, Terry, is that he wasn't in high school confident enough to ask the girl out. Now he's just nothing but confidence. Like he's he tells people that he's the next king of comedy. He's you know, you better you know, hold on to that signature of mine because I'm a rising star. You know, all of this, like, just delusional.
Definitely, that's the best word. Yeah, it's a delusional confidence.
Yeah, but it kind of works, sort of, out in the, I don't know how to say whether it works out or not in the end.
I know what you mean.
The end is completely up for grabs, like you said. Like I think the whole ending, I don't know what is real and what is not real.
Yeah, and
how it actually is.
I like how you phrased it, where you're not sure if that's what you're supposed to feel or not. I like that it's an option. I like that we have the option to view this through a prism of, he's insane and none of this actually happened. I like that that's a prism that we can view this through. But I also enjoy the idea that this crazy plan that he hatches, he pulls it off. And like, Jerry Langdon, Jerry Lewis' character, even says the fact that you managed to pull this off means that you're smart. Like, no one's calling you an idiot. Like, I know I called you a moron before, is probably what he's thinking, but he's like, you're not an idiot because you've managed to do this. And it's the 80s, so they don't have the technology to, like, know exactly where that phone call was taking place, and, you know, payphones still existed, so he could make a call that.
There was a scene that aged this film, right? Just like everyone fighting over the payphone
to the payphone. Yeah,
there's a scene. Okay, so without revealing too much, there's a scene where you do, you know, the cliche. It's totally cliche. It happens in every movie where it's like, keep him on the line so we can trace the call or whatever, find out where he is. Try and talk to him for as long as possible, or whatever. And then the phone call, the phone rings, and they answer like two phones and press button, and like they get it all like going, you know. So totally cliche. I don't know who did it first, but I would, you know,
it was done in like the Bourne movies as well. It's
the hilarity that scene got for me was when he says,
"I heard that sound."
Don't even try tracing this call. I'm not going to be on for that long, and I'm on a public payphone. You don't think I know what that click was? I know what that click means.
I've heard that click before.
I've heard that click before. I know what a phone tracing thing is when I've heard it. And it's reminds me of this hilarious joke from Scrubs, like one of the jokes that stuck with me forever, where the hypochondriac is pestering. It's the same deal. It's the same kind of thing. He's pestering the doctors for a diagnosis because he's sure he's sick. He's really not, but he won't leave. He's always coming back into the hospital, insisting that he's got something. And Dr. Cox takes out a restraining order on the patient, and he hands it to him, and then he says, like, "This is a restraining order," and he says, "Of course I know it's a restraining order. You act like I've never dated."
Yeah.
And that's the
exact same
gag
joke. Yeah, same format.
It's the same kind of joke, and it very much heavily reminded me of that. That's Grubb's gag. Anyway, I didn't want to spoil the movie, but I also did want to say that.
Yeah.
And the other thing that was absolutely hilarious to me was the lawyer who
sue everyone.
Yeah, he's just like, I've had enough. I'm suing, and I'm like, suing who? He's like, you. You. I'm filing suit with all of you, and they're just like, suing for what? He's just like, it's just he's a hammer, and he's just
he's got to hit something. Yeah,
he's looking for nails. That's it. I'm only over here in the context of suing someone.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did enjoy the movie. I was really disturbed by it. Definitely loved the echoes that are seen in the Joker film. Because I enjoyed the Joker film. I didn't mind that film whatsoever. It's probably one of my favorite DC universe films.
I'd put it second only to the Dark Knight.
Yeah, I would say the Dark Knight trilogy probably still ekes out in front on the whole. But I like the Joker film more than I like the third Batman, Nolan Batman film.
Yeah, same.
But I thoroughly enjoyed it. By the end of it, I'm a childhood huge enjoyer of Jerry Lewis material. Always watched Jerry Lewis comedy films, and like the bits that he would do and the character, like it was the same character in a lot of films. That slapstick kind of high pitched kind of voice thing that he would do. But you know, it was interesting seeing him as an older man, because I don't think I've seen him in anything like this, and also I don't think I've seen him in anything where he's older. I loved the cue cards. That
with Tanya Randall,
and and it's like down,
sorry, not Randall,
back to front, and like it's like that one's blank, and that scene is very, very funny, but also really, really like it's I don't know, it's still disturbing, but I don't know, I like the film. Thank you very much, Lord Nyman, for nominating it, because a nice piece of older cinema.
Definitely
enjoyed it.
He mentions in chat, speaking about earlier about the Rupert Pupkin's last performance towards the end of the film, says it's not good or bad. I felt the fact that he's on stage elevates the audience's appreciation. They believe he's good because he's on TV. And definitely. I think that can be applied to a lot of any art, right? It's I think you are conditioned to already love whatever the next Tarantino film is going to be, just because it's Tarantino. You already know that you love the next Naughty Dog game before you even know what it is. It happens a lot, and also I think there's the inverse where I think it happens that you have a good thing from the same creator so often that sometimes you get worn out by it, and then you don't view that thing. It reminds me a lot about like Meryl Streep as well. Like I think sometimes you overlook Meryl Streep because it's like, yes, it's Meryl Streep, yes, she's excellent, okay, move on. Tell me something new.
It's like their brilliance is exhausting, let's move on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Anyway, I want to share a couple of interesting trivia points that Lord Nyman sent through to me earlier today. Speaking of Joker, De Niro pitched to Todd Phillips, the director of Joker, that his character in the film, Murray Franklin Murray, actually be Rupert Pupkin. The director felt that wasn't right, but De Niro basically saw his character, Murray Franklin, there we go, as Pupkin deep into his career as a talk show host. Another interesting one, Jerry Lewis has a long career playing goofy characters, but his real life persona was more like Jerry Langford. Scorsese says this is the best role he's directed De Niro in. However, the making of the film was pretty intense, and they took a 7-year break from working together after this film.
Wow.
De Niro would be really anti-Semitic to Lewis between takes as a method actor that didn't want to break character. Lewis was pissed off, and to help fuel the character's disgust with Pupkin. Some really... there's plenty more on the IMDb trivia as well.
That first point of yours, Shane, really begs this question I thought to ask. I didn't think to ask. I wrote it down, but I didn't think it was perhaps... Anyway, I'll just get to it, shall I? I don't know if it was really pushed that hard, the question of is Pupkin like just unfortunate that he's in the wrong circumstances? Is if he was given a bit more of a silver spoon, is he the kind of crazy person that is born to make it in the showbiz world? Like, there's the clues that support this silly theory are that when Tony, the guy who was doing the actual monologue, at the end of the show, the guest star, whatever, when they're going over the introduction that Pupkin's prepared for him to say for him, Scorsese's in there and the producer is in there, and they're both kind of like, this is actually pretty good. Like, this will play. Just say it. Just go for it. It's probably fine. And the fact that, you know, the audience is laughing and supposedly it makes him a star, like we've heard from De Niro himself, like the way that he envisaged the future for Pupkin was he gets his own talk show, like he breaks in, he makes it. So I suppose, like, he's like, you know, like Michael Jackson, crazy guy, like he comes up with all these crazy ideas, and then one of them is Thriller, and it's the best crazy idea anyone's ever had. You know, is it that kind of a play? Is it like, this is the crazy guy who's also just down on his luck and he can't get it because nobody wants to give it to him?
And so he takes it. I don't know. I suppose it makes me think of Bo Burnham in one of his little monologue bits in Make Happy, where he's like, this isn't a meritocracy. He's like, I had a great upbringing. I got very lucky, and I'm unhappy.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a show, but I think there's some authenticity.
There's so many. Yeah, there's definitely truth to that.
That idea of, if I only had a shot, and it kind of begs the question. It makes me wonder about celebrity in general. Like, why do we do this to ourselves? Why is our society structured in such a manner that we care about the opinions of these celebrities? Like, it's just kind of, it's crazy. It doesn't make any sense that the life decisions that we make should have any bearing on them from these random strangers that happen to be in the thespian role. We enjoy their work, and then they say something, and then we're like, yeah, I agree, because they said it. Or like, do you actually agree? Anyway, I don't know.
You remember, I think it was Ricky Gervais opening for like
one of the award shows.
Yeah. Basically like,
he's like, accept your award and get out and shut up. No one cares about your causes because you are.
Thank your agent, thank your God, and fuck off. Yep.
You're in no position to lecture anybody.
Thank you, God, thank you, manager, and then get the fuck off stage. Basically, what he said.
Yeah, because it's basically this award. Again, what does he say? I love this line. It's like, it's something to the effect of, this award means more to you than anyone, or like this award means nothing to anyone but you. Essentially, it's like no one cares.
So good.
Yeah, and he's
brilliant. Yeah.
You know what the fandom thing reminded me of too? I was an answer that Matt Damon gave to a Hot Ones episode. Now here I am showing my hands that I've watched this talk show, Hot Ones. It's just all about asking celebrities more about their lives or whatever, while they eat chicken wings.
Extremely hot chicken wings.
It's just really funny to me. Very hot. And he said, I'm sure it was on Hot Ones. Yeah. He said he went to like a soccer match in...
Yes. Was it Puerto Rico?
Yeah, in Puerto Rico, because his wife's family is from there.
Or Argentina. It might have been Argentina.
And he's like, he's there visiting, and he's like, do you think we could go to the soccer match tomorrow? Just thinking like it's, you know, any other sport. And his stepdad says like, has to think about it for a sec. Oh, yeah, sorry, father-in-law says, all right, but we can't take the children. And he's like, what? Yeah. He's like, it's going to be you and me, no women, no children. And he's like, okay, fine. And then he learns why. It's like, there are like police barricades for the crowd to get in, and like 20-foot high steel
razor wire fences.
You're in a prison camp and you're being moved to a different wing or whatever, and you get the crowd arrives, the doors shut, the game is played to 1,000 decibels of screaming, as far as I'm concerned, screaming idiots. And then what has to happen is the game's concluded, and the visiting team, the away team, so that they don't get murdered, are escorted by
they get a head start
guards
basically
out of the stadium while all of the crowd remains seated. For 45 minutes, they have to stay there in the stadium so that a riot doesn't break out and cause the opposing team's lives to all be forfeit, as well as whatever happened in the match.
Yeah.
And so they get on their bus and they go, and Matt Damon's like, so what now? And he's like, now we wait another 45 minutes for them to get out of town.
Yeah.
These free-thinking individuals all politely leave and disperse and go back to their homes and think about what a great match they watched.
Yeah.
It's so insane, these fans that it's like, if we didn't do it any other way, there would be murders. And there probably still might be.
Yeah.
The really determined ones that had a buddy in the car outside on the phone. I
was reminded of that when watching Jerry in the film just get mobbed left, right, and center. He's just trying to get to his car or whatever. It's just insane, the life this guy leads.
Yeah.
And I'll jump in with my thoughts. You're 3 for 3, Lord Nimon. Really enjoyed this film. Before you joined the chat, Ben, Terry and I were talking. Scorsese film under 2 hours. Who'd have thought that he was capable of such things? Must be one of his. Yeah, one of his. This is what he classifies as a short film for himself. Essentially, really, really enjoyed this one. And looking back at his latest filmography, I have loved his most recent things. Irishman, it's way drawn out. I really didn't enjoy The Irishman. Not frothing at a bit to go back to Wolf of Wall Street. I think I should go back and just check it out, but can't say that I loved it on the first viewing way back in 2013.
Did you watch? Oh gosh, what's it called? It was called. It was that movie in Japan.
And then the other one was Hugo, his third most recent. I have not seen Silence, no. But
I was telling you to be quiet while I told you the name of the film.
Oh. But yeah, before that, Shutter Island, Departed, love them. Gangs of New York. Departed. Really enjoyed this film. Really enjoyed the themes that it touched on. I think De Niro, fantastic performance. Just so committed to that delusion, like you said. Like that whole... Any scene in the basement of his where he's just... living his fantasy purely in his mind, it's like everything else falls away and he's just in this completely alternate reality where he is being asked by Jerry Langford to please Rupert, can you just do 6 weeks of my show? And he's like, I don't know, I'm not sure I can do it, and he's just living this complete fantasy. I really loved his performance. I said to Terry before that we started recording as well, I really want to go back and watch more of De Niro's early stuff, because I find that for the most part of the films that he's done recently, he is a power character. He is either the smartest, the most intelligent, the wisest, where it's interesting to see a film like this where he's playing a completely different type of character. I think of American Hustle, where he's completely the dominant force in any scene that he's on. Similar thing for something like Silver Linings Playbook, where he is obviously he's got his own character flaws, but still he is the one. He's that father figure, right? So, there's not much in terms of character weakness there. So, whereas this is the complete opposite, and I've really enjoyed seeing that from him as a younger actor. So, I want to get back. I want to watch Taxi Driver and films of that era as well. I think I'll definitely make a concerted effort to do so. There we go. Lord Alma says Taxi Driver. That's the other ingredient of Joker's homage. Oh, there you go. Interesting.
I really should watch Taxi Driver. That's one I haven't seen.
Yeah.
I regret.
Let's definitely fix that.
I really want to see a lot more Scorsese, to be honest. I watched this interview between him and Daniel Day-Lewis talking about The Gangs of New York, which came out in
2005, I think.
Yeah.
2002, I
Something
think,
like
or
that.
3.
2002, you're right. Yep.
And in the interview, he talks about this project that he's been thinking about doing and he might do next, and he wants to do this film. And he's talking about Silence, a film that didn't come out for like 15 years after that interview took place. And it just opened my eyes to like how this guy slow cooks his
ideas.
work. Like it's not like he finishes with Gangs of New York and then he's like, let's go and do the next thing. It's like he's working on scripts, he's feeling out films, he's accepting and passing things, plates are spinning all over the shop.
Yeah.
And then he'll go and make one when he's like, okay, it's ready now. Instead of just going like, now I'm done Gangs of New York, I'm going to go and make this movie called The Aviator with this young kid named Leo. Well, he's doing all of that, but like, who knows when The Aviator really started for him? And he's constantly also working on Silence, this really dreadful fucking film. Like, it's a great movie about a dreadful time in history in Japan, and it's like I loved it so much that I can't see it again.
Right.
And like, for all intents and purposes, before I knew any better, I thought it was just okay. Scorsese spent the last 18 months, 2 years working on this one, but no, he's been captivated by the story that he's insisting on telling for 15 plus years.
Yeah.
And so that I really just because of that fact, I want to
watch more.
Yeah, pay him his dues and watch more of his films.
Well, it's like was it James Cameron? He said he had the idea for Avatar and was just waiting for technology to catch up. And then I think seeing King Kong or Gollum in Lord of the Rings was that the signal to him was like, okay, we are at that point. I need to start making this movie.
Love it.
Yeah, I love that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah, I love that idea. It's just like in Steve Jobs, where he's
he's like, we're just not there yet.
I wanted to invent this great computer for students and make it affordable and powerful, but yeah, I was just waiting for technology to catch up and just didn't catch up in time, so we released a pile of shit. Next time will be better.
I did think of Steve Jobs actually in this film, because Steve Jobs is one of those films where it's the drama behind the scenes, right? And it's the build up to these big public moments. And that happens, towards the end of King of Comedy, where you see the curtain lifts and, spoilers, Rupert works out onto stage, and then it cuts like, hi everyone, let me introduce myself, I'm Rupert, and then it cuts. And obviously later on you see the set, but I definitely got that Steve Jobs vibe. I want to touch on what you guys mentioned, and that was the not knowing what was real and what wasn't. I really wish it played more into that, like within the last 5 minutes, where they're talking about how he goes to jail and then comes out and later has a successful career. Because I thought it was going to be a Big Short moment where it's just like, and all the bankers went to jail, and there was this giant, reforms came in, and this, that, and the other, and it led to the most prosperous, economic sort of growth and wealth in American history. Actually, no, that didn't happen. Record scratch. Instead, no one got jailed except for this one bloke who wasn't really guilty at all. I expected that kind of thing, but I
when
wish
that happened. In the movies when I was in the cinema and they were doing that, I'm so gullible, but I was like, did that really? And then the record scratch is like, just kidding. I was like, oh yeah, that's how I remember it. Yeah, you're right, movie.
Yeah,
sorry.
No, that's right. But I wish it was more Inception. I wish it was more, little spin top on the table. Is this real? Is it not? Maybe we cut to him in his jail cell and he's just sort of smiling, like maybe he's imagining what the film had just shown us. Something like that.
Psycho ending.
Lord Diamond, such a prescient movie. This is why we have people like Chappelle Corby on reality TV contests. And that's also what I thought about. I thought about the nature, you spoke about it as well, Terry, just like the nature of celebrity. And, the one, quote from this, which I'm going to bring up now, which is, it sort of rounds out the film, Rupert says, "Better to be king for a night than schmuck for a lifetime." And I really think that rings true in the most accurate sense even today. Where I think about, I can't remember his name. Remember the blonde dude with the sunglasses, the Aussie bloke who threw a party that went to shit, and he was
like the worst dude in Australia.
Yeah, and then he was guesting on reality TV shows and getting paid, because he was an idiot. Because there was Corey, that's right, Corey something. Yeah. There was social currency tied to that because of the eyeballs on him. And we were just waiting for another train wreck.
Well, I suppose that taps into the idea of media in the modern age in general. The whole, they don't really care about the content. They just care about the eyeballs watching the content. And so if you can bring an audience, they will give you a deal. And it's just kind of bizarre. And when you, we all like The Newsroom, right? And it kind of touches on, even though it has a left bent in the formatting of the show, it's almost like a self-critique, because the media, because it is what I'm trying to say, it's a type of media that we're consuming. It's entertainment media, but it's painting news media in that same light, as in they just say that they grab the stories, that things that are meant to be local stories, but because it fits a particular thing or they think it would grab eyeballs, they make it national news. And it's all in an effort to get just to get clicks, just to get views. Because that's where the revenue comes from the advertisers and from the foot traffic on the websites.
In fact, the only sensible person that was in this movie was the guy who played the producer of the show. Like, what the hell are you guys all talking about? Like, we're talking about a man's life versus 10 minutes of airtime. I'm going to bloody I'm going to air the tape.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not doing the will it ruin the show? Will it draw the ratings? What are we going to do about all that?
Yeah.
Mate, a guy who I work with, who I'm responsible for in some small way, but, person that we now have his fate in our hands, needs us. And I'm going to do whatever I can.
Yeah.
He's the only sensible person in that room.
Yeah. Well, and the lawyer. I think he had a pretty good point.
He's definitely got a case on his hands.
He certainly does.
I just also want to give a shout out to Sandra Bernard, who played Masha as well. There were an uneven performance, but there were certainly just such high moments of for her character in the film that just really shone through. So credit to her as well. And Jerry Lewis, really understated. Love the tension that he brings to those scenes where he's trapped. Really enjoyed his performance. So big thumbs up from all of us here on the Movie Magic Show. Thank you so much to Lord Nyman for donating again and for getting us to watch The King of Comedy. If you would like to select a film for us to review here on the show, you can do so. Just donate $25 to Cancer Research. Link is in the chat. It'll be in the YouTube description as well. Pick a film and we shall review it. We've got plenty more to come. Next week we'll be doing The Departures, not The Departed, The Departures, which is a foreign film. I think it was nominated actually when in the year of its release, and we have plenty of others to come as well. So feel free to donate, support a great cause, and we will talk about whatever film you like. Before we round out the show, gents, let's play a little Movie Actor Go, shall we? Our favourite game. I'm going to type the...
Who was it that donated for The Departures?
I'll have to double check for you. Stand by, caller. The Departures. I'm not sure. I just got it's CG. I don't know the initials. I'm not sure. So thank you to CG.
Thanks, CG.
Cameron as well kindly donated as well. We're going to watch Final Fantasy Spirits Within, which we'll get to. Steve Wright with a very generous donation. Latter Days, we're going to be reviewing that as well. And because we hit the different milestones, I will be watching for the first time and reviewing Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and the Justice League.
Oh, why'd you do that?
Can't wait. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Let's pivot now to Movie Actor Go. I shall pivot, kick it off, and go to the dulcet tones of Terry Fear with Robert De Niro.
Okay.
Jason in chat says, if I donate $25, can we watch The Room? No. The Room is off limits. So I lie. There's an asterisk when I say any film.
Disaster movie? Maybe.
Not The Room.
Not disaster movie.
No Neon Genesis Evangelion films. What else? $50? Oh, I can get in there, mate.
Yeah.
Add a 0.
Oh,
if you really want to review The Room, Jason, then yes, you can donate. I'll cop it.
Oh, I'm sick that week, whatever week that is. Like,
yeah, I'm doing my hair that day.
Robert De Niro, Mr. Fear.
De Niro, yes, his Nero-liness.
That's it.
Meet the Fockers.
I only know that Ben Stiller is in that film.
You know where I'm going, Terry. Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Good. It deserves always to go there.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole brain
has left my body.
Sean Penn.
There you
Sean
go.
Penn.
Were you trying to think of Kirsten Wiig?
I was trying to think of Kirsten Wiig, yeah. I'm like, it's a hair thing. It's a hair thing.
Okay.
It's a hair thing. Wiig. Oh, boy.
I think the movie is called...
Oh, no. This is going to be a disaster. Here we go.
Is it The Gunman?
It's The Gunman, Terry, yeah? Ben, yes, The Gunman. Horrible film. Horrible action film that we reviewed on The Awesome Diction, I think way back in 2014. It was essentially like, once Taken was released, Hollywood was like, old men in action films. Let's get them all. What can we do? Sean Penn. Okay, let's get The Equalizer with Denzel.
The Equalizer was pretty good.
Equalizer was one of the better ones, but The Gunman with Sean Penn was not.
That whole thing with The Equalizer where he would like guess how long it would take for him to clear the room of bag. He would like look around and go like 40 seconds, and then he'd like start his watch, and then
just for fun.
And then
let me speed run this level.
It happened like once in the first movie and once in the second movie. It was so weird.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Like they didn't cement it into the film at all. It was just such a weird thing. Anyway,
The Gunman is not a good movie, but there's another good actor in that movie, and that is Mark Rylance.
Can I get a photo of Mark Rylance?
You sure can, sir. I think you're gonna it'll trigger you. Well, in a good way. It'll be like, oh yes.
Yeah. I'll see the face and know.
You will. You will.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yep. Brilliant actor. Here we go. Stand by, caller. Here we go. Mark's Rylance coming on screen for you momentarily.
Love it.
Oh, okay.
Look at that hat.
Yeah, it's a great hat.
Pull off that hat.
Definitely
Look at that
seen
tie.
him in other stuff.
You have many films. Academy Award winning, I want to say.
Yeah, definitely.
He's in the office. He's in the office, isn't he?
The British one? I'm not sure. Maybe.
No. The American one. He looks like the guy that plays. Is it Krieg? No, that's.
Oh no, you're thinking of a different. Yeah, no.
I'm probably thinking of a different actor. He looks similar to that guy. No, I can't think of a single film that he's in. I'm sorry, I've got myself out.
Terry. The Bridge of Spies, Dunkirk, The Trial of the Chicago 7.
I've seen The Trial of Chicago 7. Who is he in that?
Oh, in The Trial, he's the main lawyer.
Oh, well, there you go.
The defense.
Moving the
He plays the old version of the young nerd in Ready Player One, the guy who invented the world, whatever the world's called.
The old version.
Yeah, he won supporting role. Was it Bridge of Spies?
So he's in.
It was Bridge of Spies. Yeah,
he's in Ready Player One. Yeah.
I haven't seen Bridge of Spies.
Oh, Terry.
I did watch an interesting video. I think it was Jimmy Fallon had Tom Hanks on, and
Jimmy Fallon has interesting videos.
This is one of the few, but it had Tom Hanks, so I think that the credit deserves to go to his Hankliness. Where they read like 5-year-old or 6-year-old kids' pitches for what the movie would be about based on the name of the movie. Yeah, it's pretty entertaining.
That's the dumbest movie. The name. That's the dumbest title
Bridge
for
of
a Tom Hanks movie.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
I swear I've seen him in something else, but I'm going through his filmography and nothing is ringing any bells. But anyway, yes, Bridge of Spies, definitely worth watching. Yeah, it must be Trial of the Chicago 7 that I'm thinking of. Anyway. That was me. Movie actor go to Mr. Ben. Let's go with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Speaking of Trial of Chicago 7.
JGL.
Gordon-Levitt. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in The Walk.
He is with Charlotte Le Bon.
Charlotte Le Bon is... Okay, she plays pretty French girl. Oh, 100-Foot Journey.
Yes! I was hoping you'd go there. Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren is in the Great Exotic Marigold Hotel.
Is she?
The best?
The best.
I know old people are in that movie, but is she one of them?
I hope so.
Because Judi Dench is. I mean, you might be thinking of Judi Dench.
Let me find out. Get
Oh, yes,
ready to
you do it. The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel.
Best
There you go.
exotic. Yep. Give me the IMDb. Come on.
Stand by.
You're ready to stand by.
Yeah,
top
ready to
cast.
hold?
Get ready to hold. You got Maggie
Yeah, you're
Smith,
good to
Patrick
keep holding.
Pearson, Penelope. No.
Lord Nyman's confident. Nope in chat.
Congrats, Shane.
You
Yeah, no.
got old confused, Ben.
Yeah,
You did. There's a lot of old. There's certainly some seniority in there.
I got, senior British actress.
Yep.
I remember
Jump
the
to see.
trailer for the second film, and there's one moment where I'm forgetting the name of the actress whose reaction I'm thinking of. But anyway, similar to Judi Dench, elderly British, very notable actress, reacting to, it wasn't Maggie Smith, no, there's another one. Anyway, reacting to the new character of Richard Gere, like bursting into the restaurant. And this 70-year-old woman's like, oh my goodness, my ovaries, or something to that effect. And that just stuck in my head forever now. All right, one more round. Here we go.
Right.
Kick it off, Ben. To
Oh,
Terry.
me.
Yeah, to Terry.
Okay, Mission Impossible 2.
2. That's the one that's in Sydney, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the bad guy. Badgie. So, Tom Cruise missile.
Oh, that was. Okay.
Yep. Who asked for it?
Tropic Thunder.
Nice.
Nice. Jack Black is in that.
Jack Black is in that. Jack Black is in the Goosebumps film.
Oh, I think you're going to say Kung Fu Panda. I got really excited.
I do like Kung Fu Panda, but there's a lot of actors in there, including Jackie Chan.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone there because I know where that ends up and it's never fun.
Yeah.
The Goosebumps, which I haven't seen, so I'm gonna.
Neither have I. I've seen The House with All the Clocks. That's a pretty good film.
I feel like
He's
this is
also
one of those
in that
films where he's the main actor and then there's no one else.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he plays R.L. Stein.
Can you look up the year that released? I'm gonna try and nail it again, Ben, just like I did with Ethan Hawke
Yeah, all right.
a few episodes ago.
Year of release. Goosebumps film.
If I can get the year of Goosebumps, I feel like it was like a 2016 or something like that.
Close, 2015.
2015. Okay, 2015.
And I will.
Oh, okay. You know who was
Look away
okay?
before I
I'm gonna
say
go. Stab in the dark still, but there's logic here. I'm gonna say Rebecca Ferguson.
Rebecca Ferguson. So I need to look up to see if she's in this.
I'm doing it.
Okay.
Sorry, it's a bit of a.
Who's the leading lady or
It's a
the?
bit of a wash. Odea Rush.
Because Rogue Nation was 2015. So I was like, oh, Rebecca Ferguson peaked popularity there. It was like kind of her breakthrough,
Yeah.
Anyway.
But this is Goosebumps. This is like relatively low budget.
This is true, yeah. But sometimes those actors, they take one of those roles in the
They
same
do.
calendar year.
They give one to the studio.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Well, they seed their viewership, their fandom, their celebrityness about.
Pay
It's the
their
same reason
dues.
why Emily Blunt does Edge of Tomorrow, but also Mary Poppins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, for Shane, Terry, movie actor go, sir.
Okie dokie. Ben, you get to do Mission Impossible 2.
Who was
Anthony
the villain,
Hopkins.
man?
Nice. Anthony Hopkins. He is in
I don't know the name
Thor
of-
Ragnarok.
I don't know the name of that villain in Mission Impossible 2.
I forget the villain actually. Let me.
Yeah.
Isn't it like?
he's an Englishman?
He's like discount Javier Bardem facially.
Yeah, you're right. He is,
Oh, I thought it was Oh, what? I thought it was like Jared Harris.
and he's got like a lisp. Oh no, that's
What am I thinking of?
Oh, I don't know what you're thinking of. No,
Oh,
don't
I
think
know
so.
who you're thinking of. Is it Doug Ray Scott? Is that who you're thinking of? Is this the villain?
Ich weiß es nicht.
Brendan Gleeson? No.
Doug Ray Scott. Doug Ray Scott.
Doug Ray Scott, yeah.
Doug Ray Scott. Thank you,
Brendan
Lord
Gleeson
Diamond.
was in 2. There you go.
Hmm.
Dominic
Yeah.
Purcell. Oh man, there's an actor I haven't thought about in a long time.
Alrighty. So, Thor Ragnarok to you, Ben.
Ragnarok is the one with the Hulk in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say Jeff Goldblum.
Nice, Jeff Goldblum. He.
Hey, Max a Geek.
Okay, Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, that's a swing and a miss. Apparently, Lord Nyman said that he was originally cast as Wolverine, but MI2 got in the way.
That would have been a miss, yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
goodness. You said Jeff Goldblum. So let's go with Jurassic Park 2: The Lost World.
Okay, I know.
I get 2 and 3
Um,
mixed up all the time. I'm trying to think which one was 2. Was 2 the one?
It
Just
was
the one where like the T-Rex gets to the city or something. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like San Francisco or
Yeah, yeah.
Seattle or something. One of them.
Is it Tia Leone? Tia Leone. That's what I'm gonna say.
Shane?
I know the name, but I don't know the
It is
face.
actually called The Lost World Jurassic Park. Yeah. I always thought it was the other way around.
Damn it.
Yeah, Tia Leone was in 3. She was the mother of the child.
That's right. I think Julianne Moore was 2, right?
Yes, Julianne Moore
Oh,
was
you're
the.
right. It was
yeah.
Julianne Moore.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ben.
Boo.
Nice.
Chick, boom.
Redeemed
Terry
myself.
is the winner.
King for a night.
That's it.
Well, I get Twin Kings because Shane won the last round.
There you
You can do
go.
that.
Luke, you're going to jump on the show, my friend.
You would.
Get you on. You're always correcting us. It's great.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to wrap up the show here, but before we do, we're going to get to our end
what?
games.
To Maxi Geek's point that he would be amazing at this game, there really are like very grading levels, and we're like at level 2 or whatever. They're
Yeah.
like, I've got friends that if I tried to play this and I would be like, Jeff Goldblum, go, they would go like,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
I tried
They could have
to
nothing.
play this at work once, like back when I was at Ubisoft. Like the servers went down. Lord Nyman, you might remember this. It was years ago, and like we gathered around the pit at the time was just like the table in the middle of the office. I think there was like 12 of us, and was like, "What do we do?" I was like, "Well, I play this game on my podcast. It's called If You Have to Go. You guys want to play?" Yeah, and you'd get to like, I don't know. Chris Pine, and someone's like, "Oh, I don't know that person." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Can be really tough. Yeah,
then
you
there's, like-
need the right audience. You need the right crowd.
There's another level above where it's
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
it gets
The
insane.
proper
Yeah.
cinephile.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because again,
Make us look
like
plebs.
you guys know this about me, but my knowledge of cinema extends. Anything pre Awesome Diction Days, which was 2013. It's like animated movies only. That's all I know. That's all I know.
It's like Disney and Pixar
Yeah.
animated films.
Whereas
Maybe
anything
some
anything
Dreamcast.
between 2013 and 2016, I'm like, bam, yes, can tell you
Yeah,
that Chef was a
that's it.
2014 film. About Time was 2013. Yeah, so many
Yeah.
movies. Anyway, yes, our end games we like to play at the end of the show.
Yeah.
We've got 2 quotes for you. Guess them in chat. Dulcet tones. Movie quote number 1, please.
I need to pull the first one up. I do have a second one just in case you guys don't get
Oh,
it.
bless you.
And I can't do the accent of this person. I do apologize. Most days I wish I'd never met you, because then I could sleep at night. I didn't have to walk around with the knowledge that there was someone like you out there. I didn't have to watch you throw it all away.
Oh, Oh, I know that.
This is a really dramatic line. I feel like it could be in like a Nicholas Sparks adaptation, like a Notebook or something.
It is.
I'm gonna hate myself forever, regardless of.
Pretty dramatic. Would you like the second quote?
Yeah.
Second quote,
If I
please,
get
yes.
it from the
second quote is, it's very, very long. You will get it before I finish it.
Okay. Okay. So it's an obvious one. Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
Okay.
Michelangelo. You know a lot about him. Life's work, political aspirations, him and the Pope, sexual orientation. The whole works, right? I bet you can't tell me what it smells like in the Sistine Chapel. You never actually stood there and looked up at that beautiful ceiling, seeing that. If I ask you about women, you'll probably give me a syllabus of your personal favorites. You may have even been laid a few times, but you can't tell me what it feels like to wake up next to a woman and feel truly happy.
Oh,
You're a tough kid. I asked you about war, you'd probably throw Shakespeare at me, right? Once more under the breach, dear friends. But you've never been near one. You've never held your best friend's head in your lap and watch him gasp his last breath, looking to you for help. If I asked you about love, you'd probably quote me a sonnet. But you've never looked at a woman and been totally vulnerable. Known someone that could level you with her eyes. Feeling like God put an angel on earth just for you.
Oh, I know it.
Who could rescue you from the depths of hell? And you wouldn't know what it's like to be her angel.
I got it.
To have that love for her be there forever. Through anything. Through cancer. And you wouldn't know about sleeping, sitting up in the hospital room for 2 months, holding her hand, because the doctors could see in your eyes that the terms visiting hours don't apply to you. You don't know about real loss, because that only occurs when you love something more than you love yourself. I doubt you've never dared to love anybody that much.
I think I'm 60% there. I'm 60% confident in this guess.
Okay.
Okay.
Looper.
No.
I thought it was Bruce Willis talking to JGL.
No.
Oh, that was great. I love that. Because you were
I was so confident. Yeah.
You and I had the same reaction at the same time, where I did get it, and I thought you did too. And then you're like, I know it.
Maxi Geek, there's that moment where Bruce Willis is talking to his past self, who's like, you've got no idea how much this woman is going to love you and take care of you, and you're so selfish. Like that's where my head went with this whole thing. It was just like, yeah. Ben, any idea?
Yeah, I know it. I'll let Maxi Geek do it in the chat.
Yeah, Maxi Geek, take us home.
Yeah, bring us home, Maxi Geek.
I'm probably going to kick myself.
I'm kicking myself because I didn't get it from the first quote.
Yeah.
Say the first quote again, Terry.
First quote is, I'm going to try it. Most days I wish I'd never met you, because then I could sleep at night. I didn't have to walk around with the knowledge that there was someone like you out there. I didn't have to.
I don't remember that first quote, but yeah, I do remember the second quote.
That's Skarsgård.
Yeah. Okay.
Saying that to him, the professor.
Like English as second language accents hard.
It's tricky.
Yeah.
Hard to sound polite.
Yeah, Trolls to World. Trolls to World Tour. Oh, no.
Good Will Hunting. Okay. I don't feel as bad because I only watched Good Will Hunting for the first time, less than 12 months ago. So.
That's why I thought you would get it. Because it would be relatively recent.
And now I can see Robin Williams delivering that whole thing. So
yeah, and it's that. It's the precursor to like that super vulnerable moment that they have together. Yeah. Love that film. And I'm like, how do you like them apples? And anything in the Boston accent, I'm sure might have been super obvious as well. But yeah, there you go.
Movie quote number 2. I used to think that if none of your family or friends knew you were dead, it was like not really being dead. People can invent the best and the worst for you.
Oh man.
So my mind is thinking things like, this is a line delivered by the narrator of the film, who is also a character in the film. And I'm like, and they die. And so I'm thinking like American Beauty. But I don't think it's that, because I think I would remember that if that was the thing. So I don't think I've seen the film, but I think that's what's happening. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You were wrong. Yes. It's not that at all.
Nice.
I'll try and find another quote. Ben, you've definitely seen this film. Terry, I'm not sure. If you haven't, we're watching it as soon as possible.
Yes. Yeah.
Let me find this second quote. Stand by, caller.
Lay your films on me.
The first thing you do is you say it's when it's a Shane quote. The first thing I do is go, "It's up in the air."
Is it up in the air? No. Okay.
Is it an animated?
Is it the
film
Mask
quote?
of Zorro? Okay, no.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'm hoping this will give it away. Daydream delusion, limousine eyelash. Oh baby, with your pretty face. Drop a tear in my wine glass. Look at those big eyes. See what you mean to me. Sweet cakes and milkshakes. I'm a delusion angel. I'm a fantasy parade. I want you to know what I think. Don't want you to guess anymore. You have no idea where I came from. We have no idea. Okay, you're not going to guess if I keep talking.
That's great. That's a cool quote.
It does.
We have no idea where we're going. Lodged in life, like branches in a river, flowing downstream. Caught in the current. I carry you. You'll carry me. That's how it could be. Don't you know me? Don't you know me by now?
I don't think I've seen this.
Oddly
film.
enough, it's Trolls 2 World Tour. No, I'm joking.
Put me out of my
It
misery,
is-
Shane. What is it?
Before Sunrise
Oh,
by Richard
I haven't
Linklater.
s- I haven't
Terry,
seen
we are watching that film. I'm so excited. And then we're going to
That's-
watch Before Sunset, and then we're going to watch Before
Nice.
Midnight, and it's going to be great. And it's going to change your life.
I was going to say, those are the trilogy films with the characters throughout and the different stages.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Ethan Hawke and
Maybe,
Julia Delpy.
South Coast Holiday?
I reckoned
Movie
we Before
marathon.
Sunrise Christmas somehow,
Oh, yeah.
and then you stew on it, Terry. You absorb it. You reflect.
it.
yeah,
and
so
then
nice
South
way.
Coast-
delay,
South Coast Holiday end of January. We'll watch the next one Before Sunset,
and then like Easter.
there you go, Before Midnight, Easter.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Because then it's
But
like,
then-
and you kind of replicate. Well, not exactly.
The delay. I know what you
The
mean.
9 years between films that there was. But you can't just watch 3 back to back.
Yeah.
That's not right. Anyway,
Fair enough. It's not
Yeah,
Lord
it's
of the
okay.
Rings.
It's not like you go and you see the cliffhanger ending of an episode of TV and you just like click the next episode button. and
Season
it's straight
season
in.
2,
As
episode
fast
1.
as humanly possible.
And then
No.
you skip the previously on and you're like, yeah, I already know.
It's like I
My,
was there.
one of
30
my
seconds
favorite
ago.
memories of this trilogy of films is where Ben started watching the third one, thinking it was the second.
Oh no!
And he's like, oh, wow, yeah, there's a lot has happened. That's
Oh my
assumed
God.
knowledge.
I was so dumb.
Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
that was so.
I've done that with books. I've picked up the Brandon Sanderson's Stormlight Archives. The first 2 books are split into 2 parts apiece, and I literally bought part 2 of book 2 instead of part 2 of book 1.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a second, what?
So just for everyone, the sunset becomes Before Midnight.
Yeah,
as
Sunset is
per-
Before Midnight.
Reality.
Chronologically.
Lord Nyman then says, and then watch Boyhood at 2 times speed, just because. Yeah. I need to go back to Boyhood. It's been a few years.
So,
It has been a few.
this is
I
Terry.
think about that film.
This is like before Terry. Like the before Terry. You know what I'm
What?
saying?
No.
Like
What?
these movies changed me. Like
Oh, right.
I think they changed Shane too, and so
Okay.
this is
Yeah, I mean, I
before-
don't want to hype it up, but
Yeah.
it was like a...
Oh, pretty good.
It's fine. It's fine. It's it's not bad. I mean, we didn't have to watch them. It's okay. Will, Mira. Anyway, I'm not going to hype it up anymore. But they love those movies. Oh, they're fucking amazing. Anyway,
No, I'm looking forward to it.
this has been the Movie Magic Show. Thank you for tuning in.
6
Catch
degrees?
us. Before we get to the intro, let's do our 6 degrees, our final end game. Got so excited thinking about Before
Come on,
Sunrise.
guys. I've already done it in my head because that's how I.
Oh, have you?
I
Okay.
come up with
6
the-
degrees, 2 actors. You need to try and link them via actors they've started alongside. This
So
week, Charlize
I'm-
Theron, Michael J. Fox. Let's do it.
Charlize
I'm
Theron,
thinking
Michael J.
well,
Fox.
I'm thinking Michael J. Fox in either of the Back to the Future films with Christopher Lloyd, and Christopher Lloyd is in Nobody, which is a very recent film, and there's a stunt director who's also an actor, who's in like, I think he's one of the dudes in John Wick, but he's one of the guys on the bus. He's the main guy of the dudes on the bus. Don't know his name, but he's in it. You've got the actor in Nobody. I don't know if he's in anything else.
Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah, Bob Odenkirk.
What else is Michael J.
he's
Fox
fine.
in besides
He's-
Stuart Little?
Yeah, he's the guy from
He plays Saul in
Soul in
Breaking
Better Call
Bad
Saul.
and
Yeah,
Better Call Saul. Yeah.
yeah.
Anything else,
Right.
Michael J. Fox besides Stuart Little?
Michael J. Fox was in a movie that reminds me of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but I can't remember the name of it. So it's unhelpful, but it has the song that
You're right.
I remember that it's in that film, but I don't know what the film's called.
So Stuart Little has got Hugh Laurie,
Yes, it
and
is.
Gina Davis.
It's a weird film.
Hugh Laurie, Gina
Sorry?
Davis, they're the parents in Stuart Little, right?
Hugh Laurie, yes.
Gina Davis is the mum, I think.
I can't remember. I just know everyone.
Anyway, Hugh Laurie.
talks about
Hugh Laurie's in
Gina Davis is
Tomorrowland.
Long Kiss Goodnight with Samuel L. Jackson. And oh gosh, the guy.
Lord Nyman in chat. Michael J. Fox was in Casualties of War with Sean Penn.
Oh, nice. My goodness, why am I forgetting his name? It's a kick-ass name. It's not Rip Torn. It's the other guy. He's the Super Troopers chief. He's one of the guys from the Bourne Identity.
So Charlize is in Fury Road. Italian Job. Bombshell. Big names in Bombshell.
And Atomic Blonde.
Atomic Blonde. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? You know when someone says a movie to you and it lights a fire, like you're like,
Yes.
Atomic Blonde is at the
That fine.
rewatch point for me.
All right. Nice.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's. Ooh. I have to watch it again now.
Frighteners, directed by Peter Jackson. There you go. She was also in Kubo, Two Strings. She plays Monkey.
Yeah, that's right.
Ah, she was too.
You've got Ray Fiennes in there.
Well, yeah, but
McConaughey.
Matthew
Mara?
McConaughey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some other big names in that. Yeah, Rooney Mara. Yeah. Wait, didn't both the Maras? Weren't they both in that one? Rooney and Kate played the twins.
I don't know.
I think that was the case.
I might have a bit of Google.
Neon, if you're there, you'd know that. Reindeer Games with Ben
Games
Affleck
with
and
Ben Affleck,
Gary
Sinise.
Sinise.
I've got you all stumped. This is great. Well,
You've got an answer,
it's
Ben. 3 degrees? It
Working. Yeah. It was just Rooney Mara.
was just Rooney Mara. Oh, she played both roles.
She played the sisters. So
Okay,
both, yeah.
there you go.
Right. Yep.
Um,
Yikes.
I don't know Michael J. Fox films. That's
Yeah,
my problem.
I really don't know many. Oh, he's in Teen Wolf. He's in the original Teen Wolf movies. Don't know who else is in them. But he's in those. Well, shit. Who else is in the Back to the Future films? Isn't Christopher Lloyd?
I've seen them like once or twice. I can't tell you anything about those movies. I never had a great affection for them. I'm sure we could Hugh Laurie it somehow by Stuart Little. That's right. That's what I'm thinking right now. Hugh Laurie is in Tomorrowland with George Clooney. George Clooney to Charlize Theron. Surely, how can we get there? Give us your answer, Ben.
Yeah,
Put us out of our misery. Yeah.
I can't
Okay.
think. My brain, it no good.
Can you just tell us the Michael J. Fox film you used?
It was Back to the Future.
Oh, okay. Okay, keep going.
Okay.
Okay, so Jason will love this, I think. So, Michael J. Fox is in Back to the Future, obviously, with Christopher Lloyd, obviously.
Yep.
That's the first link. The next link is Christopher Lloyd is in Addams Family as Uncle Fester
Oh, he is too.
with Christina Ricci.
Yeah.
I don't know this person.
Oh wow. Yeah.
It was so Gandalf the way he said that.
I have no
no
recollection
memory
of this place.
I have no memory of this person.
And Christina Ricci and Charlize Theron are in Monster together.
Ah, there you go.
Nice.
Nice.
Kristen Ricci. Ricci.
It is Wednesday, Jason. That's
Yes.
correct. Oh, you're saying
Yeah.
that because of Adam's Family? I don't know why he's so excited about Wednesday.
Oh, it is Wednesday, my dudes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what Jason's doing. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. Tis a Vine meme.
Anyway, now I can do the outro. This has been the Movie Magic Show. Catch us here live every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Catch all our past episodes on my YouTube channel as well. Just search Magic Casts, all one word, on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter as well, at Movie Magic Show. We'll notify you when we're going live and which films we're going to be reviewing. I have something on next Wednesday, and it's fallen out of my head what it is, but I remember remembering it like yesterday and thinking to myself, oh no, I'm not sure I'll be able to. Oh, that's right, I have this thing that was like booked for June, then it got pushed back, and it's in the city, and it's like 6:30, so I'm not going to get back in time. So we could try and do Tuesday night instead?
Yeah.
I'm now free Tuesday nights.
Yeah?
Bible study is wrapped for the year.
Jason's watching Spider-Man's tomorrow. Oh, there we go. I'm going to have to watch Spider-Man this weekend. Okay, so we'll do the departures as per the donation kindly from CG. Mysterious.
Thank you, CG.
Thank you, CG.
I've already watched it. It's great.
Nice. Looking forward to it. We'll do Spider-Man, and I'm going to have to try and squeeze in one of these DC films. I will start with Wonder Woman, which was the first to release of the three.
Start with Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
It is the first, but between those, well, Justice League. Oh no, Justice League came after. Yeah. Wonder
Woman came first.
And then Aquaman,
So,
and then... Yeah, okay,
I
cool.
was thinking Dawn of Justice, the Batman vs Superman film.
Witcher Season 2 is this Friday, Mexigeek. Nice. You've seen 6 of the 8. What episodes? How have you seen them? Is that what you're talking about? 6 of the 8 episodes of Witcher?
Oh, 6 of the 8.
Oh, right, okay. Right.
DC. Yeah.
Okay.
The DCU.
Man of Steel, Batman, Wonder Woman, right.
More like DC.
Oh, Netflix gave you access. Nice. Anyway, yeah, so Spider-Man next week.
Oh, right.
Yes, Departures, and I'll try and squeeze one more in. Hopefully, Mr. Mira, will you be around to join us as well? Would love to have you, obviously.
Always and forever.
Anyway, I want to thank the dulcet tones of Terry Fear.
Now you have my permission to die.
Oh, okay, that's a bit dramatic, but I want to thank Mr. Movies Ben Stapleton.
I was just going to go with thank you, but now I'm way overshadowed. I don't know what to say. Pod blast, Shane. Thank you.
I'm glad you did. I hope you had a Pod Blast, listeners. We've got a few viewers hanging around, so we are going to raid someone. Stick around after the end screen, and we'll pass on the love. Thank you again for tuning in. Until next time.